Hey folks, Jackdaw here, dropping in from the other side of the veil with a collection of promising news and insights on Dragon Age the Veilguard. From Rook and Romance and Griffins, oh my! We're delving into the next chapter of Dragon Age, which includes the Inquisitor and Solas, with brand new insights straight from the developers' Discord Q&A. For those who don't know, last Friday, Game Director Corinne Bush, Creative Director John Epler, Art Director Matt Rhodes, and Community Manager Katie popped over to the BioWare Discord server to answer an abundant amount of juicy questions about Dragon Age Taylor's version. And since then I have transcribed and condensed as much of their interview as I could in an attempt to vomit to you their ultimate highlights category by category. And just ahead of time, I do apologise for the lack of on-footage material in this one. Since this was a Discord call, I don't have any material to show you, but we'll just showcase the latest gameplay, trailers, and some footage of our favourite Dread Wolf. Needless to say, we have a lot of stuff to go over today. So let's begin with our first category being Rook, our new player hero, and the character customization. So straight off the bat, when creating Rook, players can choose their pronouns, from she, her, they, them, he, him, and of course you can choose their gender, offering inclusive options for character customization. The character creator is highly detailed, which includes full body customization, diverse hairstyles, and a plethora of skin tone options. Additionally, the character art team has crafted impressive and realistic dwarf beards, and Qunari horns can be customized separately with different hairstyles. Players can customize Rook's backstory, choosing from 6 different backgrounds tied to major factions at play in Thedas. Each one sets up who Rook was before they were recruited by Varric. The options are the Antivan Crows, the Grey Wardens, the Shadow Dragons, the Veil Jumpers, the Lords of Fortune, and the Morn Watch. As you progress through the game and engage in conversations with faction members and other characters, you can define not only what events occurred, but also what they meant to you. And you'll explore your motivations and the kind of person you are as you develop Rook's character. Now, the developers of the Veilguard in this interview answered about their own favourite faction. Corinne is enchanted by the Antivan Crows for their impeccable fashion sense, and the Morn Watch for their mysterious vibes, and literally both of these two factions are the ones that I am still torn about, for the exact reasons Corinne describes. Now, John finds himself drawn to the Veil Jumpers, appreciating both their style and the thrill of navigating monster-filled forests. Matt, on the other hand, is captivated by the Lords of Fortune, admiring their pirate-barbarian mix and treasure hunting adventures. Just based on their descriptions there, it really does paint a vivid picture on the uniqueness of each of these backstories, and if you are wondering or want more information on each of these factions, do check out my most recent video where I fully uncover each. Now, Rook's decision trees are vast, significantly impacting dialogue options and story outcomes. Your decisions are going to have real consequences and the game will react to them. For example, if you're talking to an elven follower and your character is also an elf, your shared background will offer unique perspectives and different conversation options, sometimes leading to entirely new dialogue trees. And lastly on this category, while Rook avoids blood magic for specific spoilery plot reasons, very interested to see what that could be, the mage skill tree still offers a variety of spells, traits, and perks for flexible gameplay, and the team will show the character creator off before launch, offering a deep, extensive look at options for all races. Next, we're talking about the gameplay and its specific mechanics. So Veilguard's camera perspective is now designed to pull players deeper into the world of Thedas. By bringing the camera closer, players can experience the detailed environments of places like Menrathus more intimately, making every exploration feel vivid and immerse. On the companion front, the decision to limit players to 2 companions instead of 3 was made to ensure that they are more realised and impactful. This setup enhances visibility and strategy, allowing for better management of Rook's numerous abilities and emphasising the importance of timing and positioning in combat. Nevertheless, each companion has unique abilities that fit into the mage, rogue, and warrior archetypes, providing distinct gameplay and narrative experiences also related to their various personalities. For example, Nev is the only mage that is an ice mage, so she has related abilities that are distinct to her. But because she is a mage, she does have access to abilities that all of the mages share, like Time Slow as an example. Now, companions have a variety of appearances and outfits that evolve with the narrative and their own personal journeys. They may temporarily leave if they disagree with your decisions, but will somehow return to defend Thedas, seemingly at the end of it all. However, some may permanently leave your party, but that is spoiler territory. Now, banter of course remains a core element in the Veilguard. The team couldn't stop the writers from writing. The Veilguard features both global and mission-specific banter, boasting the most extensive dialogue ever between companions in a BioWare game. And speaking of which, the game features several types of dialogue wheels, making choices and consequences clear but not entirely predictable. On more of a mechanical front, crafting is back, with gear improvement and customization being significant for RPG progression, and players are apparently going to encounter a mysterious narrative entity that is going to aid in crafting. Now, the entity part throws me off, but all I think about with crafting is enchantment. But we do know that unfortunately Sandal's voice actor isn't coming back, so I am curious to see what kind of entity is going to help us with crafting. In the same vein, players can now use a transmog system. Thank you, BioWare. And this allows us to change the initial appearance of our armor while maintaining the stats of a different armor. Corin Bush said it perfectly: fashion is really the end game, and I 100% agree. Touching more on the combat, healing spells are indeed part of the core mage kit, and tactical combat is still a major feature, with strategic pre-combat planning and a pause time tactical mode. The ability wheel requires players to choose 3 abilities for Rook and each companion, prompting strategic planning. It includes ultimate abilities, buffs, and enhancements in the form of runes. Dual wielding is available for rogues, and warriors can use two-handed weapons or a sword and shield. And there are 3 mage specializations: necromancy, elemental magic, and combat magic, each offering very diverse gameplay styles. Regarding the rogue specializations, we have duelist, saboteur, or veil ranger, and all we know about the warriors' current specializations is one of them is called the Reaper. Now, no mounts are needed due to the game's design and world structure. Hallelujah! Although I would like to ride a griffin, but I suppose Hassan is still quite young. All side quests in the Veilguard are handcrafted and story focused, avoiding mechanics like the power system from Inquisition, which is literally a huge wish ticked off for me. I previously said this next feature was confirmed in my gameplay breakdown, but it seems it is not, and that is a photo mode. However, the developers are actively considering it due to high demand. Now, accessibility is also a key focus, with more details to be revealed closer to launch. Ultimately, the game has no microtransactions, battle passes, or online requirements, focusing entirely on a complete single-player experience. The Q&A briefly touched upon romance options, and so each of the 7 companions have a full romance arc and are pansexual. They maintain their identities and can form relationships even if not romanced by the player. For example, Scout Harding and Tash can become Hard Tash. Now, Emrich's skeleton, Manfred, who is gonna be my best friend, is not kissable or romanceable. However, the developers hinted at the possibility of other skeletons potentially being kissable. They at least said not lat skeleton, so either that's some reference to Emrich, or there may potentially be 1 or 2 skeletons that we can kiss in the Veilguard. But no, you will have to keep your paws off Manfred. Now, none of the companions in this game are explicitly ace, but the developers aim to authentically represent an ace relationship in future titles. Lastly, we have a bunch of story details. Approximately 10 years have passed since Trespasser. Solas's ritual has taken time to set up, and Varric, now aged with a silver fox aesthetic, reflects this passage of time. Decision import is now seamlessly integrated into the character creator with a new tarot card system. This system works offline and requires no online connection or EA account, making the Dragon Age Keep basically redundant. I know we're all going to miss it, but really, the choices are now in the game client. Now, Manrathus is just the starting point. You will visit it again. However, the game does expand to various other locations too, offering a curated, mission-based experience with side content that ties meaningfully into the story. Players will explore many previously hinted locations, including including Rock. All side quests are handcrafted and story focused, ensuring a natural flow of the story. This is literally what we want to hear, listening to our feedback since Inquisition. Now, regret and how it shapes lives is a huge theme in the Veilguard. The story is going to explore how characters deal with and move past their regrets. Instantly reminds me of the Tevinter Night story callback, where a demon still lingered over the regret of a god in Skyhold's Rotundra. Speaking of said regret of one god, Solas remains bald in the Veilguard, as in Phaedus, apparently, deep lore here, ancient elves go bald when they're millennia old. So Solas was not actually always bald, and we know that based on concept art anyway. But quote, if you were to end up seeing what Solas looked like in the past, things might be a little different. Which to me is an obscure hint that we might actually in some capacity see what Solas used to look like at parts within the story. And if BioWare are literally going to showcase aspects of Solas's memories or the tale of Mafal and how he portrayed the Evanuris in like cinematic length or frescoes and murals, that would literally be the best thing ever and such a fantastic way to bridge the narrative, understand the elven gods, understand Solas on a next level, and I am so here for that. Now, the Veilguard features a variety of new tattoos from different cultures represented in Northern Thedas, as well as ones we've seen before, with each of our characters' tattoos being personalised and reflective of their personality or faction. Now, the Inquisitor is back and can be customised at the start of the Veilguard, including new options for customisation. The story of Solas and the Inquisitor are deeply entwined into this story, making it essential to include the Inquisitor in this installment, and this is such a huge sigh of relief to all of us Soul Levellans. We're getting our closure. I'm literally going to cry. This is going to be amazing. Who knows what the heck is going to happen, but that confrontation is something that I'm so excited to see. There's just going to be an extra dimension of weight hanging on the shoulders of those who import a Soul Levellan into the Veilguard. I am not ready to see what is going to go down, but the fact that we're getting multiple conclusions on Solas's narrative is fantastic. From potentially witnessing memories of him in the Fade, or seeing what he used to look like, or some kind of reference to his past, to now his future. If that's with a lover Inquisitor or not, that choice from Trespasser set a precedent for this game, and it's so exciting to see that we're going to get the fulfillment of that in some capacity. Now, regarding another huge choice from Inquisition, the quote, person who you left in the Fade decision, so either Stroud, Alistair, Hawk, they're not going to appear in Dragon Age the Veilguard, but that might be significant in future games. Our next hub, called the Lighthouse, serves as the player's headquarters, similar to Skyhold and Inquisition, but it features unique aspects that evolve over time. The Veilguard will provide, quote, the deepest companion arcs ever seen in a Dragon Age game, and if that isn't high praise and sets the bar incredibly high, I don't know what will. That's fantastic. And while there are no Mabaris in this game, there is a griffin named Asan that players can interact with, pet, and hug. We can hug the griffin. Amazing. Scout Harding from Inquisition was a fan favourite, now returning with even more stories to tell. And her connection to Solas, Varric, past events which would include the Inquisition, make her a very fitting character. And she's going to help provide a window into things for Rook. Now, some locations and their states are going to change based on player decisions, affecting how spaces exist and develop. Tavern songs are also included this time around, with now special mentions to the Swan Tavern in Minrathous. And lastly, information on different editions of the game, including collector's editions, will be provided soon, most likely when we get that inevitable release date, whenever we get that. Coming to a close, and I'm going to end on a really good notion from John Epler, but the amount of confidence and excitement from this interview is really palpable, and it showcases genuinely the reports that we were hearing of how confident this team is in this project, and we absolutely got that sense from all of this news. Ultimately, John said that there's something about the Veilguard that combines familiarity with a sense of novelty. It's like coming home in a way that will be incredibly exciting for long-time Dragon Age fans. And at the same time, there's so much new and thrilling content that will captivate both new players and veterans alike, exploring uncharted parts of the world, encountering never-before-seen sights, and expanding upon this rich world and series has been an absolute thrill. That for me really cements what the Veilguard is aiming to be, and it just excites the living crap out of me. So do let me know down below which of these insights you are most excited about. What are you eager to know more about? How are we feeling about Solas and Levellan closure, my Soul Levellan friends? Let me know know all of your thoughts down below. But we've got more news coming, so I best crack on. Of course, you're already in the right place for the latest on the Veilguard. I've been Jackdaw, and until the next one, I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.